today's video is going to be a follow-up of the video that Dr. Steph did for us about hormones, and we have put some other information out there about hormones and how this may impact upon your training and your nutrition. In our Live Life logbook, there is a section, a monthly cycle tracker, which has just a list of how you might be feeling in terms of mood, physical symptoms, which can be logged on a calendar part of the diary. So you can kind of see as the days and the weeks go on how you're feeling in terms of mood, relating to your hormones, and then how this may be affecting your training and impacting upon your nutritional requirements and cravings, etc. So we're just going to do some short videos week by week about the changes that you will feel and you will see and will be apparent in the gym, etc., to help you plan your training around this. Week 1. So week 1, your period would have just finished. So once you finish your period, your levels of the male sex hormone testosterone and the female sex hormone estrogen will be high. So as a result of this, your mood is good, energy levels are good, and it would be an ideal time to push things a little harder in the gym. So if you do bodybuilding, strength-based training, this would be a good time to kind of switch things up. So you're lifting a little bit heavier, you're pushing yourself a little bit harder. If you're if you do cardio-based activity, again, this would be an ideal time to kind of push for better timings with your runs or whatever sport you're doing, because of the sex hormone testosterone, energy will be increased, strength will be increased, and your pain threshold will be higher as well. So it's a really good time to use this in the gym. Week 2. So week 2, similarly to week 1, estrogen and testosterone levels will peak 7 to 14 days after your period. So again, perfect time for putting the extra push into your training. Your body is using energy a lot more efficiently at this time, and increased estrogen means that with regards to nutrition, your cravings should be kind of under control. You shouldn't really be craving anything, so you're more likely during these weeks to stay on track with your nutrition plan, and if you're prepping, ideal. As well as everything else that's going on, you don't really want the addition of hormonal food cravings. So week 2, similarly to week 1, estrogen and testosterone levels will peak 7 to 14 days after your period. So again, perfect time for putting the extra push into your training. Your body is using energy a lot more efficiently at this time, and increased estrogen means that with regards to nutrition, your cravings should be kind of under control. You shouldn't really be craving anything, so you're more likely during these weeks to stay on track with your nutrition plan, and if you're prepping, ideal. As well as everything else that's going on, you don't really want the addition of hormonal food cravings. Week 3, it's downhill from here, I'm afraid, because this is when ovulation occurs. So you will notice a bit of a shift in how you're feeling and how your mood is. So you may start to feel emotional, sad, tearful, angry, full of rage, and this is due to the changes of hormone levels. Your body temperature will increase as well. So you'll find that obviously you're feeling a bit hotter. So when you're in the gym training, you might find that you sweat a lot more, and you might find that actually you run out of energy a lot quicker, you gas out quicker. But as well as this, excuse me, because of the increase in temperature, there is research to show that in actual fact you can burn more calories during this time, which is great. Sweat more, burn more calories. As estrogen begins to decrease, the hormone relaxin rises. So this is kind of what protects your joints and everything when you're training. Because that decreases, it puts you at an increased risk for injury, and you'll be feeling weaker. And again, that places you at an increased chance of injury because you will fatigue a lot quicker. So for obviously like the first 2 weeks where you've been beasting it in the gym, this won't be the case this week. You're gonna have to kind of ease off or change your approach to training. So if you're weight-based training, you're not going to be aiming to beat last week's numbers, because the chances are it won't happen. Your appetite will increase. So again, if you're at doing a prep, this is going to kind of add to your problems really, because you've got your general hunger, and then now you're going to have your hormonal cravings as well. You're going to hold more water, so you'll feel more bloated, and as a result your weight will probably increase. And again, if you're prepping, this is going to have a bit of an impact mentally for you, because it's not ideal seeing the scales bounce around all over. But what you need to remind yourself of is, it's kind of going to be a temporary thing, and it's because of your hormones. And if you are logging and tracking this, that will reassure you that actually, oh yeah, this is a week that I do tend to, put on a little bit more weight, I'm heavier on the scale due to the added water and the bloat. So if, you do find yourself craving, and your appetite's through the roof, this is where you need to kind of manage your nutrition a little bit better. Be prepared. You might want to kind of break your meals down a little bit, so you can allow for like more regular eating. You might want to prepare some kind of healthier snacks, so you're not tempted to kind of eat crap or to binge eat. Again, if you're prepping, this is a bit harder to do. But you could do something like carb cycle. So in the time leading up, knowing that actually you're going to hit your peak cravings, you could factor in like higher carb days, just to kind of allow for that and try and avoid the need and the want to binge eat or cheat on your diet. But that's something that you would need to discuss with your coach, obviously. But this is something ideally that your coach is aware of and kind of asks you about, because this does have a huge impact on nutrition, as well as on how you're training in the gym. Week 4, this is where generally you will get your period, and funny enough, where you start to feel a lot calmer. So a lot of women find that when they're actually on the period, mentally you feel a bit more stable and a bit more sane. However, energy levels will kind of dip. You will feel a bit fatigued. Obviously, you know, iron levels will decrease because of the blood loss. So again, you need to be mindful of those things when you're training, that if you are feeling a bit weaker or fatigued, or if you get a little bit lightheaded and feel a bit dizzy, just be really careful when you are training, because this can kind of just creep up on you sometimes. So again, if that's something that, you know, you do find on a monthly basis that during this time that you do actually feel quite weak and fatigued, just be really, really careful when you're in the gym. Some women, you know, when they're actually on the period, suffering terrible cramps, etc., and feeling really shitty and really low on energy, there is kind of, you know, sometimes you feel the need to just lie on the sofa with a hot water bottle and kind of avoid training. You know, a little bit of that's fine, you know, in the evening, or, you know, if you're feeling shitty, but ideally you want to still be getting your training sessions in, because that release of endorphins that we get, you know, when we train, will help make you feel better and kind of lift your mood slightly. And you will find that it helps ease out some of those aches and pains and cramps that you feel when you're on your period. So I would definitely keep your training on track, but just amend and adapt as required. Because obviously some women suffer a lot more at this time than others. Some are absolutely fine and you would never know there's anything wrong. Other women, you know, you can tell they're pale, they're low on energy, they just look like shit, and obviously feel like shit. And, you know, sometimes it is just a real chore to get through a training session. Okay, so to recap then, first 2 weeks, you'll be feeling great. Energy levels will be high, recovery will be good, strength will be good, ideal time to push hard in the gym, and to challenge yourself. It's important to remember that your weight will fluctuate over the course of the month. If you're documenting this and recording this, then obviously you can see it month on month and know, actually, yeah, there's a pattern there. My weight will go up, but it will come back down. This is particularly important in a prep phase where, you know, your head's all over the place anyway, and the last thing you want to see is your weight go up. But just know, if you're sticking to your plan, this is just general fluctuation because of your hormones, it will return back, and you probably will lose weight as well after that period of time. Continue to train, obviously, goes without saying, but just be really, really mindful of where you are in your cycle and how this may impact upon your training. So kind of adapt where necessary, and know that, you know, there are some times in the month where recovery might take a little bit longer, and that you may also be prone to injury. So just be careful. Allow for extra calories where you need to, you know, if you are craving. If you're not prepping and you're craving, then, you know, have a bit of what you like. You know, it's going to get you through, make you feel better, and know that actually in those weeks where you are feeling stronger and you are feeling better, chances are you're going to burn more calories in the gym through training. So it's, you know, it's balance really. And just be gentle with yourself and remind yourself that, you know, it's not easy being a woman sometimes, but we all go through it. And I have actually done a video about, you know, feelings and emotions during this time of the month, because some women do actually suffer at the extreme end. So yeah, I hope you found this useful, and if you've got any questions, you need to clarify anything, then by all means just drop a comment below, or send us a message via the page or email, and we will help out where we can. Don't let your period put you off training, definitely not, but just use this as a guide to help you, and to remind you that, you know, on those days where you're not smashing it in the gym and you're not hitting PBs all the time, it could be because of your hormones. So yeah, being a woman sucks sometimes, but hey ho, push hard on those first 2 weeks, and yeah, catch you later.